everyone! Post-apocalyptic cities, cursed artifacts, and ambient synth music? Halloween hasn't come early, we've just got scary good deals on over 1,000 assets in the August Marketplace sale. Start browsing the Unreal Engine Marketplace and score up to 70% off on select products now through August 29th. Full Body IK in Unreal Engine 5 will add higher degrees of control and flexibility when constructing your control rigs. Head over to the Unreal Engine YouTube channel to learn how you can create completely procedural animated characters with modular setups to deliver natural, believable motions, all with an adorable blue dragon. 626 Productions directors Miles and AJ tell us how they used Unreal Engine to build a whole new planet for Doja Cat's Need to Know music video, including CG sci-fi sequences from scratch in just 10 days. Fly over to the Unreal Engine feed to see how the entire sci-fi alien cityscape was raised. While there, meet the creative director behind Netflix's smash hit Space Sweepers from Korea's WYZIWYG Studios. The team's innovative approach to previs meant the director could iterate and communicate complicated space scenes with detailed designs, lighting, and stunning VFX on a low budget. Battle Royale meets async multiplayer meets procedural generation in Team Wibi's first title, Phantom Abyss. We caught up with the studio to discover the inspiration behind their project's name, the hidden narrative, and how their limited resources spurred their clever design. And now over to this week's top karma earners, many thanks to Every Nun, Clockwork Ocean, Losasin, Tsumisaki, Evil Cleric, Torquemod, Kahale18, Slashinator, Coladeras, and Shadow River. In Red Koi Box's Faraday Protocol, take on the role of an interstellar archaeologist sent to investigate the source of a mysterious signal in an unexplored star system. Solve complicated puzzles and discover the hidden secrets of Opus while following your motto, Explore, Exploit, Expose. Released earlier this month, download Faraday Protocol on Steam.
Am I speaking to a sentient being here?
Take in the beautiful sight of Washington State's Mount Rainier with Kareem Abu-Shussa's environmental cinematic. Built using Unreal Engine 5 Early Access, they've leveraged Quixel's Megascans assets with Nanite. Head over to their ArtStation page and see more of their incredible work. And lastly, check out this amazing footage from Black Myth Wukong, the first large-scale project from Chinese indie developer Game Science. The action RPG is based on the Chinese classic novel Journey to the West. You can see 12 minutes of gameplay footage from their port to Unreal Engine 5 on YouTube. Thanks for watching this week's News and Community Spotlight. Hi, and welcome to Inside Unreal, a weekly show where we learn, explore, and celebrate everything Unreal. I'm your host, Amanda Shade, and I have a slew of awesome people with me today. So first of all, I'd like to say hello to some of these awesome people. So Banks, say hello. Banks from Kitbash 3D, Ben Mears from Side Effects.
Hey everyone, good to be here.
Corey from NVIDIA.
Hey everybody.
Felix from Dynamedian.
Hi everybody, thrilled to be here.
Renee from IGDA.
Hi.
Steve from Intel.
Hey all, thanks for having me.
Tanner from GameTextures.com.
Share the theme, share the theme, share the theme.
And Sky, also from Epic, yay!
Hey everyone.
So we're super excited to get things kicked off. I know you all are so anxious to get to the theme, and we will get there, but we have a lot of fun things we want to share in advance. Well, some fun and some just sort of part of being of a contest, So, we're really excited to get our Epic Mega Jam started. This is always an exciting event, at least for our teams, and I know the crew here is always happy to be involved in. Game jams are just a great chance to practice new skills, meet new people in the community, and we want to reiterate, have fun. It's a chance to just play and be creative in a way that maybe you can't under normal like development cycles, or if you're working on something that's for sale, like there are certain restrictions there, but this is a chance for you to play, have fun, and enjoy just the art of making games. And we've seen a lot of people go on to take those games to commercial products. Floppy and the Sleepy Planets is still in development. We have Neko Ghost Jump, Filament. I know there's a bunch. So we are super excited to get things kicked off, but we did want to let you know that there are a whole bunch of free resources available to you as part of the jam and leading into it. So I think Sky's going to go over those for us.
Okay, thank you. So first and foremost, I hope people have been reading the itch.io page because it's important. But first and foremost, we have Assembler, who will be granting access to their platform for all jammers. So if you haven't already, head on over to the itch.io page where you can sign up, and we'll get that space set up as soon as possible. Don't delay, because I know some people have experienced some issues with getting everything ready to go. So just make sure you're ahead of the game on that one. And there are some tutorials as well, which we'll post in chat in just a moment to help you get started and figure out what even is source control and all that fun stuff. But you need it. It's helpful. And after that, we have Felix with Dynamedian. You guys have some awesome stuff that you're sharing with the community, so take it away, Felix.
Thank you, Sky. So I guess I should start by telling people a little bit about ourselves. And since loud noises and music speak louder than words, why don't we start off with our show reel? If we could cue that now. Thank you very much. And great. As if that wasn't bragging enough, here's a couple more slides to show how great we are. Nah, just kidding. We're a game audio studio located in Mainz, Germany. We've been around for 21 years, roundabout. We do everything, music and live orchestra recordings for game, sound design for game, as well as audio implementation in all kinds of middleware. So everything audio, really. Here's a couple of numbers. We've had hundreds of thousands of cues on TV. We've worked on thousands of projects from companies all over the globe, Epic included. We've grown from 2 people in this beginning in 2001 or 2000 to now over 70. And there it says we're have more than 20 years of experience in game audio. So yeah, and also we have a list of satisfied customers. So all in all, you wouldn't go amiss in outsourcing all your audio needs to us. Unfortunately, that's probably not allowed in the game jam, or might be a little tricky during the limited time available. But we took care of that also by founding Boom Library 12 years ago. which is a sound library that is now amongst the leading sound libraries in the world, with a huge catalog of sound effects and all kinds of things. And we can look at one trailer for one of the latest libraries. Boom Library can be checked out at boomlibrary.com. They'll be sponsoring a couple of prizes that we'll hear about later. And we're sponsoring a free SFX pack with sounds from all over Boom Library, from all kinds of libraries. Over 200 sounds, more than 0.5 gigabyte of sounds that you can use free in your projects during the game jam. So that's one thing we'll be given away. And also Dynamedion has launched a couple of years ago our We Love Indies project, realizing that all those big projects on our website might be a little off-putting for smaller developers. We wanted to show that we do care for an industry that has given a lot to us, so we created this platform that offers budget, ready-to-use game sound effects as well as game cues. And We Love Indies will be sponsoring free access to all the sounds, all the music during the game jam, and will grant you an unlimited license for use in the project you create, even for after the jam. So with that said, have fun, everybody, and thank you very much for having us.
That's great. It's absolutely great to have you here and a part of the 2021 Epic Mega Jam family. As I'm sure a lot of other people out there will be super excited to see you here and a part of this as well, and also hear it. Audio. Anyway, moving on, we have Tanner from GameTextures.com, and they're going to talk us through what they've got going on for the free assets in the game jam. So take it away, Tanner.
Thanks, Guy. So a lot of you guys already know who we are, GameTextures.com. This is probably our 6th or 7th Mega Jam that we've sponsored. We've had the honor of judging the last 3 or 4 of them, and it's been super awesome. You know what we do? You know, we're a texture library. We build materials. This is going to be our actual 10th year of being open as a business, which is crazy to me. And this year we're sponsoring a Mega Jam with 54 free materials on the Game Textures website. You can go there, get them for free right now. Everything's live. You know, we're here for you guys, so please have fun with it. Have a blast. Just be creative. Stay loose. Stay fresh. I don't want to take up too much of your time because you know you've seen all this stuff before. But be good. I'm going to throw it over to Banks here. He's working with Kitbash 3D. If you guys don't know Kitbash, you should know Kitbash. And he's going to take it away for you guys.
Bam. Thank you, Tanner. I'm gonna do my best to take it away. What up, Mega Jam 2021? A very exciting time of year, and Kitbash 3D. We are incredibly excited to be here again with y'all. Last year was our first year, and as some of you might know, we make premium 3D assets. So, you know, we make fully cohesive styles and asset kits that you can use to build all kinds of worlds. And we have a special free kit that we have made specifically for this Mega Jam. And we have a special modifier category, which we're going to discuss a little bit later. So I don't want to reveal anything because I know we're all driving towards a theme here. But we'll get to that as we get a little bit closer. So I don't want to take too much time. But thank you so much for having us. Really excited to be here. And back to you, Sky.
Sorry, I wasn't ready. I was just enjoying your voice, cracking on with that. So apologies. It's awesome to have you again, which is awesome. Okay, next up we have Reallusion sponsoring with some free motions, and we do have a little video to play for that. So we'll go ahead and enjoy that little snippet.
Reallusion is proud to be an official sponsor of the 2021 Epic Mega Jam. Get 48 free motions exclusively from Actor Core's Iconic Hero Pack. The Epic Mega Jam website on Reallusion is the one stop to find all the information on how to get the motions, and then also resources on learning our tools. More than just motion is coming to Actor Core. An extensive library of 3D scanned characters, stylized characters, and other digital humans will be available for you to select, add motions, and download for your projects. Thank you for learning more about Reallusion, and good luck to everyone in the 2021 Epic Mega Jam.
Perfect. So there will be a little bit more information about Reallusion a little later on when we get to the spicy modifiers. But for now, we're going to hand off to Ben over at SideFX and /Houdini /Amazing Stuff. Take it away, Ben.
Share the theme. Share the theme. Just kidding, of course. Hey everyone, Ben from SideFX here. We've sponsored a bunch of these Mega Jams, Epic Game Jams. Always happy to be here providing Houdini. So yeah, check the itch page. We are giving away 2-month Houdini Indie licenses. And a bunch of people have already requested them, which is awesome. So we hope to see Houdini in some of those games. And if you want to use Houdini, you should get the license today, because probably by the end of the day, they won't be available anymore. So get on that. Also, check out our Unreal Starter Kit. We've pre-built some assets for you to use. They work in both Houdini and Unreal, so you could use them right in Unreal Engine without touching Houdini at all. So grab those. You can use them. Totally open license. Use them for whatever you want, any games you want, even after the Game Jam. And yeah, best of luck with the Game Jam.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Who do we have next? Aha. So we want to give a shout out to obviously Quixel. They are a huge part of the ecosystem now, and they really need no introduction, because if you're not using them, you should be. And obviously that goes for Megascans, Mixer, and the like. So obviously you can use those within the jam, and obviously go crazy if you like. We do also want to give a shout out to the Unreal Online Learning team. They helped us put together a unique online learning path specifically for the jam, where you can get a sparkling 2021 Epic Mega Jam badge to add to that collection, because as developers, we all know that we're all hoarders, right? So you just need those shinies and keep them somewhere safe. And we'll go ahead and share that if you haven't already. That's going to be open for the next couple of weeks after the jam. So even if you're busy doing amazing work, you can still get that sparkling badge. And now I believe we're going to go through the very detailed section, the important section, with Amanda, covering some rules.
Yeah, so we're going to try to make rules fun. So hopefully don't spend too long here is really the goal on that. But first of all, you need to sign up on itch.io. So we'll drop that link in there if you are not already signed up on the Epic Mega Jam itch.io page. If your team, only one person on your team wants to sign up and they submit all the information, that's totally fine. But do know that it is also like a 2-part process. So you need to upload your game to your itch page and then submit it to the actual jam. I know that's a bit of snag for a few people in the past, and so that's really, really important. And just a quick overview. So your qualified submissions will be reviewed on a scale of 1 to 5 for each of the following categories for a unique use of the contest theme. Its fun factor, the visuals. And so that, can include like composition, lighting, arrangement. It's not just like, oh, that's a really fancy asset you have there, right? It's also about how you put everything together, and also audio. So all of those above will be scored. I know there's always been lots of questions about sourcing assets. So we want to say you are allowed to use non-original assets during the jam, such as marketplace assets, but those will not be scored. So, if everything in your scene is built with marketplace assets, we'll look at the composition. We can still look at the arrangement, but you're not going to be explicitly scored for producing those assets. So just things to keep in mind. They do, you're going to need your team name. You're going to need your team's information, each team member's name and their email address. You've got to have a game name. I know it's ideally also please rename your file. And then you must list any content that was used that was not created during the duration of the jam. And we do request that you provide a link to some gameplay footage. So, 30 to 60 seconds is all we're really looking for. If you want to make a full-blown trailer, that's totally up to you. But all we're looking at is for just a quick little snippet. And that's, that way we can use it in the reel that we play during the results stream. And so that's what's the key there. So those are the real core pieces that I wanted to at least bring up on the stream. There are full official rules listed on the itch.io page. I know it's not fun, but I do encourage you to read through them. And if you all ever have questions, feel free to toss them our way, and we'll try to answer them to the best of our ability. So now that I got that out of the way, we have some modifier categories that are a little bit different. This is our favorite way to sort of shake up and mix up the event each year. And so the first new category that we have is the Envisionary environments, which Corey from NVIDIA can tell you a little more about.
It's like we fit a pun in the name. It's amazing. Thanks, Amanda. We're really excited to be here. I'm Corey Banks from NVIDIA Studio. And you're right, we're sponsoring this first modifier category, the Envisionary environments category. We want to see the best environments you can create, hopefully making them look cinematic and beautiful with real-time ray tracing in NVIDIA Studio, or using NVIDIA Studio technology and Unreal Engine. I don't know. Is this a good time to run like the hype reel?
Let's do it.
Let's do that. Let's do the hype reel first.
All right.
So that's a very brief overview of NVIDIA Studio. You'll humor me for a couple more slides. I'm going to share a little bit of information here. Share my screen. So yeah, I mean, as the trailer showed, we're NVIDIA Studio. You guys know NVIDIA. You know what GPUs mean for gaming, but they also mean a lot for content creation. That's why we're really excited to be a part of the Epic's Mega Jam this year and sponsoring this, not only some prizing in the overall competition, but also this Envisionary environments category. NVIDIA Studio is our ecosystem for content creation. We sit in the middle between the great hardware that you're going to use and the software that you're living in all the time, like Unreal Engine. We power more than 70 RTX accelerated apps. We have NVIDIA Studio drivers that are tested for optimization and stability. We've got some studio-specific software like Omniverse, Canvas, Broadcast, what I'm using right now, and we're really excited to help you guys create and bring your vision to life for the Mega Jam. One of the things that we're really excited about is the ability to use AI-assisted tools in a lot of your content creation. Amanda was talking about the rules a little bit earlier, and she was talking about how you need a 30 to 60-second clip. We want to be able to help you create that cinematic trailer that helps show everybody your Mega Jam creation, right? We're really excited to be using AI to help with denoising in apps like Blender or even Unreal Engine. We're excited about being able to help you collaborate with your team by using NVIDIA Broadcast to make sure nobody sounds super noisy while they're eating on their mic. The amount of power that you can use through these GPU accelerated tools should speed up your content creation flow. So that's what we want to do. That's what we're super excited to talk about today. There's a few specific technologies within Unreal Engine that are really important if you're using an NVIDIA GPU, and we have some information to that we can help. It's not quite as cool as some of the freebies that we were talking about a little bit earlier, but it's pretty helpful. We have a specific RTX branch that you can learn more information about that has some enhancements for some of the DXR support found in Unreal Engine. When you're putting in your real-time ray tracing effects to win this in visionary environments category, there's some information here that's super helpful. We're also really excited to have launched a plug-in version of DLSS for Unreal Engine. DLSS is our deep learning neural network that makes your game look better and boosts your frame rates, right? Making it easier for everybody to play your game. So learn more about those at developer.nvidia.com/Unreal Engine. Like I said, we're part of more than 70 creative and design apps. There's 3D rendering stuff like you're using in Unreal Engine all the time, but there's also video editing, there's photography software, there's broadcast software, things in OBS that are really important. NVIDIA Studio is really designed to sit in the middle of all of this, to take the hardware that you have and empower every part of your workflow. And then the last thing that I just want to quickly hype up is NVIDIA Omniverse, which is the idea of being able to take all the different people who are on your team working on this Mega Jam and put them in a collaborative environment where they can be working with your 3D content in real time. This is currently in beta right now. If you're interested, you want to check this out, you can learn more at nvidia.com/Omniverse. We're just really excited to be a part of this Mega Jam. So I will stop sharing.
Awesome.
And then I think, do we want to talk a little bit about the prizes for this category?
Yeah, would you mind sharing a little more about the GeForce Now Service Spotlight and what that means if they happen to win one of these sweet prizes?
Yeah, so if you happen to be one of the winners and one of the finalists, we not only want to celebrate your game and play your game, because I'm super excited to play all these Mega Jam entries, but we want to feature it on NVIDIA's GeForce Now cloud gaming platform. And if you're not familiar with that, it's using our cloud servers, our GPUs in the cloud at a bunch of data centers to stream the gameplay to any of your devices, nearly all of them, basically. So if you have a friend who wants to play your Mega Jam submission and you're a winner and they don't have like a powerful GPU, they could be streaming this to their Chromebook. They could be streaming this to their Android device. They could stream it to any Windows or Mac laptop. So we want to work with you to put these submissions on GeForce Now and celebrate them in one of our GFN Thursday weekly blogs, social contests, things like that. It's something that we thought when we were working with Amanda and the team on like how to collaborate on the Mega Jam, we thought, why not do this too? Why not show everybody what you've created for the Mega Jam?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Let's see. Next, we have the Army of One category. So this is the best game developed by a solo developer. And so it means if you're working all by yourself and you make a Rockstar game, we're going to send you out a Falcon Northwest custom PC. It's got the Epic Mega Jam logo printed on it. It looks super, super cool. I'm sorry I don't have a picture of it right now. I feel really bad. But make sure to go over to the itch.io page and check out this really, really sick laptop. But yeah, it's a 15.6-inch laptop. It's got an Intel Core i7 processor with an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070. Super decked out. there's also other prizes that come along with the Army of One category, but definitely really excited. And Falcon Northwest has been with us for so many years along this fantastic ride of game jams, and so we cannot show them enough love for their participation. Ben, do you want to give a few notes on the Procedural Magicians category or modifier?
Yeah, so we did Procedural Magicians for the last Mega Jam, and we're doing it again. Pretty simple, just use Houdini to make your game somehow. You could use it in the most basic way, but we will be kind of looking at cool uses of Houdini. Procedural level assets or cool effects. So yeah, use Houdini for your game, and you will be entered into that category. I think that Jacob, who won last year, might be in the chat right now, so shout out to Jacob if you're there. And last year, Side Effects has a monthly show we do called Hex, and last year we interviewed Jacob, so I think we probably will interview the winner again, if you're up for it. So that's a little added bonus that we haven't mentioned yet. But yeah, we're happy to have the Procedural Magicians category again, and just use Houdini, make your game, and you'll be in there.
Awesome. Secret prizes. Ooh. Our next modifier is this real life? We've had this one for a number of jams, so that's for the best XR game. So, regardless of what device you're working on, we're going to score all the different XR projects, and the top prize gets, let me look at it. I'm sorry, I didn't have it ready. But an Oculus Quest 2 and a number of other prizes such as the Houdini and Indie license, game texture subscription, and a number of marketplace product packs. So get developing. Conductor. Felix, you want to share a little more about that modifier?
Certainly. Let me just share your screen, even if everybody really just wants the theme shared. Oh, sorry. I hope you can see it now. So, Conductor, as the title says, is for the game that best uses audio design for storytelling. As I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir, audio is immensely important for the immersion and the feeling of a game. And we thought it might be nice for us to sponsor a category or a modifier that values that. I'm not aware of any prerequisites other than actually having audio in your game for that category. And my colleague Andy from We Love Indies will be on the jury and will be giving away a We Love Indies project license L, so lots of sounds. Another Boom Library SFX pack of your free choice. Or a Boom Interactive plugin. So if during the jam you discover your taste for making sound for games, then, all you gotta do is win this and you'll get some tools under your belt. And so, good luck and have fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Felix. And Sky's going to share a little bit about Puppeteer, so our game, the best custom animations.
Yes. So Puppeteer is new to the family with Reallusion, and that's going to be, as Amanda said, best custom animations produced for the jam. Now that doesn't have to mean it has to be the protagonist. It can be NPCs. It can be third person, first person. As long as we're seeing those animations and they're custom, that you can be in for a chance. And I hope to see some really cool things there, because I think some of you guys are crazy with your animations and audio and everything. I think it's just crazy how awesome everyone is. And so, yeah, if you're not aware of what Reallusion is, we do have a short little video that we're going to roll now to explain who and what they do.
Hi, I'm John Martin with Reallusion. Reallusion is a character generation, character animation, and character asset company. Our mission is to ease the process to create characters and bring them to life. Our belief is to go well beyond the traditional way with innovations in tools and content. Our pipeline of tools to enable all of this is made up of 3 major components: Character Creator, iClone, and Actor Core. We're proud to have helped many in entertainment, AEC industry, indie, and educators succeed with these tools.
Perfect. So if you need more information on that, obviously head over to the itch page and check it out, as well as there's an array of content there, and obviously, again, the free motions from Re-Illusion, as mentioned earlier. But next, we are, well, I think it's, the Kit Basher. Banks, do you want to take it away with all your glory?
I will do my best to do justice. Thank you for the warm reintroduction, Sky. Man, this is wild. There's so much cool stuff going on here. So many different things from so many different people. It's like Christmas around here. We're happy to be one of Santa's elves along this. But as Sky mentioned, I'm Banks from Kitbash 3D, and we have a special modifier for this specific competition. But at Kitbash, we make premium 3D assets for movies and video games. And the way this began for us was my partner Max and I had been good buddies for almost a decade, and both of us were working in traditional Hollywood. I was a director and a producer working on some cool stuff with Google and Sony and Call of Duty, and Max was a matte painter and art director, and he was on Far Cry and Halo and Game of Thrones. And we decided to step out on our own and make our own indie game. And so we actually, fun fact, were the first Unreal game to port to Switch. We were the first Nindie from Unreal to Switch back in 2016, 17, 18. And our game was Sleep Tight, and we made our own Nindie. And while we were making our own game, we realized that there's a real problem with the amount of assets available to creators. If you work in a big studio on the movie side, we're making the same assets over and over again, archiving them to tape, and then no one can touch them again. And so we're creating the same things from project to project. And then conversely, if you're an individual out there, you weren't able to have access to those. Those assets were behind a big wall in the studio system. And if you're a creator out there on your own, you're sort of left to fend for yourself. And so what we set out to do was make assets in cohesive styles that were at the premium level, that just worked, but also not only make them available to studios, but then make them available to creators out there. So we feel incredibly fortunate that 4 years later now, we, our assets are used by artists in over 150 countries, making super awesome stuff. So we want to show a little video here, and this is the video that announced that we were, well, there's a surprise in it, but I'll spoil it a little bit. This announced that we were coming to Unreal last year, and made native files right before the Mega Jam last year. We got another surprise coming up, but let's roll that video. And Amanda, would you cue me when we're back? I can't see it.
Absolutely.
That's the go sign.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda. And y'all can see my screen share now. Thanks for the thumbs up, Ben. We had a ton of fun making that video, having the Manny the mannequin from Unreal come alive like it's Frankenstein. And so as I was saying, we make kits in cohesive style. So this is our website, and if you go to kits, you can see we got tons, thousands of different assets here in their different ways. Some of our newer kits here is Outpost, if you're building your space station on different planets. It's important to us to create enough pieces that you can make a world out of them, and then also have all the sub details so that you can kit bash them. Kit bashing, the old modeling term to take two things and bash them together, like a transformer is a car and a robot crash together. This is the virtual version of that. So speaking of our modifier, we made a very special kit for this competition because there are so many things going on with this competition. We wanted to make something very, very, what we thought was cool was the Kit Basher modifier, where you can take any asset from this kit, which is free now. It's only for artists competing in this competition, and you can get this kit off the itch.io page. But it's got tons of cool pieces from our Goliath kit, our heavy metal kit, our sci-fi industrial kit as well. And you can take any singular piece from this. You can take as many pieces as you want, but as long as you take one piece from this and use it in a featured way within your game, you will then also qualify for our special modifier. Because there's so many things going on, we wanted to make it something that you could use this kit in any way that you want to. So lots of really cool assets here. You can go from the itch.io page and download it. You can get it in Unreal only. Ordinarily, our kits come with a bunch of things, but this one is specifically set up only for Unreal, so that you can take it in and create your world with it. So tons of cool stuff, lots of really cool prizes. You get $1,500 from us. You also get a Houdini license from Ben and Side Effects. Really great stuff from Tanner. You get a 1-month subscription on Game Textures, Dungeon Architects. Y'all can read a whole bunch of cool stuff. But grab this pack off the itch.io page. It is our extreme pleasure to be part of this here and to bring a special modifier that we hope you guys get pumped up about. You see the value in having cohesive styles, and you can make your games a whole lot faster. Can't wait to see what you do. And let's get to the theme. I know I'm talking too much here. Amanda, back to you.
Don't you jump there yet. Yeah, so we'll make sure that the link is up there and can drop it in chat so you all are ready to go and can start snagging those assets. We have one more modifier. It's the Tiny Award. We have upped it to 150 megabytes, just knowing that it's a little trickier to hit that under 100 megabyte mark at these days. And so that'll have a Houdini Indie license, the subscription from GameTextures.com, and some more marketplace packs. So I'm going to run through our list of awesome prizes real quick. Hope you all are ready for this ride. If we can toss up the sponsor logo just to show everybody some love. So if you are first place in the Epic Mega Jam, you'll get a high-end Ghost Canyon NUC from Intel, an RTX 3090, a Game Jam feature on GeForce Now service, and a GeForce Now Thursday Spotlight from NVIDIA, 1-year Houdini Indie license from Side Effects, a year membership to the IGDA, a 1-year GameTextures.com subscription, iClone 7 plus 3D Exchange 7 pipeline plus CC3 pipeline from Reallusion, a 1-year Complete Boom Ultimate subscription from Boom Library, Dungeon Architect Marketplace code plugin from Code Respawn, Ascent Combat Framework from Pask, and 12 awesome environment products from Maui. So that's all just for those of you that get first place. For second, you'll get a boxed Intel Core i9. I feel like there's too many numbers there. 11900K processor from Intel. Steve can correct me on that later. An RTX 3080 Ti, the Game Jam feature on GeForce Now, the 1-year Houdini license, the 1-year membership to IGDA, a 6-month GameTextures.com subscription, the CC3 pipeline from Reallusion, 1-year Complete Boom Basic subscription, Dungeon Architect, Ascent Combat Framework Lite, and the 6 environments from Maui. So, and then third place, a boxed Intel Core i7 processor from Intel, an RTX $30.70 plus the GeForce specials, 1-year Houdini license, 1-year membership to IGDA, 3-month GameTextures.com subscription, 10,000 DA points for Actor Core from Reallusion, 3 original Boom Library SFX packs of your choice, and the Dungeon Architect Marketplace code plugin from Code Respawn, and 3 environment products from Maui. So we do want to give that thank you so much to all of our sponsors, and that's a lot of prizes, y'all. So I hope you are excited, and again, thank you to all the people here. And kind of on that note, we love being able to give back to you and support your journey as a developer, and that's really what it's all about. And so I'm actually going to toss it to Steve from Intel. Intel has been an awesome partner with us in these game jams for many, many years before I was even here at Epic, and they're always doing really, really great stuff for the indie community. And so Steve has some information around their Boost program, and I'll let him take it away.
Thank you so much, Amanda, and thanks to our friends over at Epic for having me and having all of us here. This is a lot of fun. So I'm going to tell you guys what the theme is. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm not going to do that. They don't trust me. I don't even know what the theme is. They don't trust me with any valuable information whatsoever. In fact, I couldn't tell you what the numbers are in that CPU that we gave you guys. So don't ask me any important data whatsoever. But I am going to share my screen real quick to tell you about the Boost program. So hopefully that is where you can see things. So hopefully you guys can see this. So I want to tell you about the Intel Game Dev Boost program. This is all about getting a marketing boost from Intel. It's the largest set of free go-to-market services in the industry for all game devs, from the smallest indie to the largest AAA. We're the place to take your game to market. Just to give you a sense of the size and scope of this program, we, over the last 12 months, gave away 1 million games to new gamers. This is betas, playable betas, playable demos, basically anything to get your game out into gamers' hands so that they can play it and learn about it and see it. We've also driven 3 million social actions for our game developers over that same period of time. So this is folks liking your game and talking about your game on social media. And we did this at scale for 300 different titles already so far this year. We are super excited to help all games find their audience, find their customer. It's what we're all about. And it is absolutely free to participate in it. Give you a sense of one success story here, and shout out to our friends at Triple Scale for letting us talk about their data. But this is the kind of work that we do for our developer partners, basically helping them find new customers wherever they may reside all over the world. It's easy to participate. All you need to do is post your game to our DevMesh site. Once it's submitted, you actually are eligible for the boost. And then you can optimize for Intel Tech, which gets you laddered up to qualify for more. But the whole point is to get as many people into the program as possible, deliver value as broadly as possible. We have the biggest market in the world, and we want to give you access to it. And that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Steve. And on that note, on supporting the indie community, we're going to toss it over to a video first from the IGDA.
Game developers are creative, passionate, and driven. We tackle new technologies and overcome many challenges in the pursuit of our creative vision. At the IGDA, it is our mission to support and empower all game developers around the world. We provide community, mentorship, research, knowledge, and best practices. We're here for you when you need it, so you can advance your career while keeping your health. Join us and help make our industry a better place for all of us, now and in the future. Help make a difference and join the IGDA. Hey, it's me, the person from the video.
So, as you heard, the IGDA is providing a free year of membership to everyone who wins a prize as part of the Epic Mega Jam competition. But I wanted to tell you just a little bit about the IGDA, what that means, and a lot of free things that we actually provide for you, too. So we're going to pop up my slides. Yeah. So the IGDA is actually the largest nonprofit professional association for game developers in the entire world. And that means that it is literally our job and our mission to support you in having a successful game development career, whether you're just starting as a hobbyist or if you're a 10-year industry veteran. We do that really through three main methods. That is through research and knowledge, community, and advocacy. I'm just going to take you very quickly through some examples of what that means. So when I say research and knowledge, we actually look to see what the game industry is up to. We do research on, the developer's satisfaction, if careers are going well, and then we help create policies to ensure that you are going to be supported as much as possible. We also create really wonderful white papers and provide many of them for free. Our brand new one is how to create and sustain a positive work culture. So if you're starting your own indie studio right now and you want to make sure that it is created in a way that is going to be supportive of all of your employees, both now and in the future, this is a really great free resource that you can find on our website. When it comes to our communities, we actually have 36 special interest groups that represent developers across affinities, disciplines, and advocacy. And that means that if you're a woman in games, or if you're over 50 years old, or if you focus on game art, these are all different groups that you can participate in. They're totally free to join, and they have amazing active communities that will support you. When it's not the COVID era, we actually have over 100 local chapters around the globe. So there's very likely an IGDA chapter in your neighborhood that is running local events when local events are possible. And it is a great place to meet peers, to network, to share ideas, and perhaps to build out your team. And then finally, we do advocate for developers. We make sure that they are aware of industry standards and best practices, and we help ensure that they have a good quality of life. We take stances against crunch. We promote diversity and scholarships. When politicians blame video games for violence, we say, that's not the case, and here's research. So really, we do all we can to support this wonderful industry that we're all a part of. So thank you for your support. Thank you for joining this wonderful event. And if there's anything you need at all, feel free to reach out to us. You can find us on our website, and you're more than welcome to join our Discord server with 4,000 other professional game developers who are happy to help you be successful.
Thank you so much, Renee. So, we were going to go into jam tips, but we were only like 2 minutes from the theme. So we could just kind of hold it, and then I think we announce and let them all know what it is, and then we can go into the fun. But before we share that with you, I think it's worth shouting or giving a call out that we will be monitoring social media channels for #UnrealJam. So please do share your work in progress with us. If you're streaming, let us know. We love seeing it all. So, the brainstorming process, the creation, all of it's a whole lot of fun, and we'll certainly be interacting with you all there. I know that there are additional questions and comments that you may have about the jam. If we don't answer them live, we do have our forum post that we announced the jam. So feel free to toss any questions there, and we'll make sure to try and keep an eye on that so that we can get those answered for you sooner than later. There's also, we encourage you to hang out in Unreal Slackers. They have a game jam channel. You all are such an amazing community, and a lot of the community is really, really good about, if you have questions or if you have need some help. That's what it's about, right? It's about having fun, collaborating, learning something, and enjoying the process. So make sure you jump in and hang out with the rest of the community, because y'all are in this together. You're all spending a week making a game, and It's way more fun when you hang out with other people. So, I guess it's 3:00, and could we get?
Wait, did we pick the theme yet?
Oh, do I skip it?
Yeah, it's not important.
Can we get a
Just share
really,
that
really
later, it's
cheesy drum roll? The worst drum rolls ever.
Yay.
This is what I live for. All right. What's that jam? What's that jam theme? Running out of space. So there are many different ways you can interpret it. Feel free to, it can be literal, it can be figurative, in any other philosophical meaning that you can come up with. It is at your mercy.
That's perfect for the Tiny Award, right?
Right? It's just
Totally.
you could just make a very meta game, make a teeny tiny game that fits on the floppy disk, but you're just trying to make it small enough. Yeah. But yeah,
And
feel free to go ahead.
And that's just the thing. I know that a lot of people will like to instantly go with the literal translations of things, but feel free to go out the box on that as well. You don't have to restrict yourselves. We're happy to see crazy, fantastic, and spicy games as well. So go crazy and make a game that's you as well, because that's important.
Yeah. And so that's our theme. If you all want to get running, feel free. But I'd still like us to go through some of our Game Jam tips and suggestions and best practices. And I think first and foremost, what we've all tried to reiterate is have fun. That's just like the core of it is, right? Like, enjoy yourself, enjoy making a game, let yourself be creative. I know, Renee, you had very strong feelings about having fun during game jams.
What else are you doing in a game jam or making games aside to have fun? I mean, this is an industry built on entertainment, right? So, if you are having fun, you are going to make a game that is more fun, that is more engaging. So, in terms of running out of space, don't run out of space on your personal calendar for this. Make sure you're having fun, you're taking breaks, you're getting rest, and that you're taking care of yourself so you can have the most fun, because it'll really show in your projects. Focus on the fun.
Yeah, and on that note, we always say to get to something playable, find the fun in your game. Obviously you want to enjoy the process, but find what's fun in your game and hone in on that. If you can get to something playable very quickly, then you can then iterate on it, polish it, then you have something playable and enjoyable right out of the gate versus, you could be 4 or 5 days in and be like, I still don't even have a game. And that doesn't feel as good in the process. So
iteration in game development is absolutely key. So if you can get that initial prototype up as soon as possible, doing extra iterations on that instead of trying to jam in extra content last second is going to really make the game jam experience and the product that you create far, far better.
I'd say part of finding the fun is actually playing your game as you're building it. Because it's easy to just be head down making the game and not actually really play testing it all. So be sure you play your game throughout. I've definitely done game jams where we started with one idea, and as soon as we had some gameplay and started playing it, we found something that was way different, and then we shifted because what we found was more fun. So I would recommend, playing your game as often as you can throughout the process.
And on that note, when you're the one building the game and you play it all the time, you are way better at your own game than we will be. So sometimes you have to be mindful of your difficulty curves, and it's definitely advantageous to let somebody play your game that hasn't been the one developing it. All right, what else we got?
It's in that same vein of having fun, right? But staying loose. If you find yourself stuck on something for too long, move on to the next thing. I've judged a few of these contests in the past with the Mega Jams, and you'd be amazed at how many beautiful games we've seen that are just walking simulators where you run in a straight line and that's the game with no menu, no system, and you could tell they spent 100 hours on the game or on the art or whatever, but didn't focus on any of the gameplay. So if you find yourself stuck, if you find yourself lost in something, move on to the next thing. Start working on your menus. Start working on your audio. Start, go over and start throwing some assets together. Just don't get stuck. Don't waste your time getting stuck. Move to the next thing. Stay loose with it. And in the end, when the judges are playing it, it's very obvious when teams get stuck on something. It's super obvious. So avoid that trap and stay super loose with it. It's going to make you have a much better time, and you're going to have a much more full at the end of the whole thing instead of something that looks really good but has what do they say? It's a mile deep but an inch wide, right? Or a mile wide and an inch deep, right? You want 5 inches deep and 5 inches wide, So stay loose with it, have fun, and just focus on the other parts of it if you're stuck.
Well, and I'll add to that too, Tanner, because I think it's so easy to get bogged down in the tiny details, and part of the essence of a game jam is moving fast. And sometimes there's the 80-20 rule, where with 20% of your effort you can get 80% of the results, and just continuing to keep moving and making sure that you're getting your ideas fleshed out. And as Ben was saying too, when you flesh out an idea, there's one thing to have an idea in your head, it's another thing to see it in action. And so if you can get your ideas out and get them play tested, and ask your friend or your neighbor or your cat to come and actually play test the game for you, so you can actually see how someone who wasn't in your mind understood it. And if you can continually move through the process, and as Tanner was saying, don't get stuck, you'll find that good as a first draft of things can really nail it. They say that great is the enemy of good, but it's just important to get your words or your thoughts into an actual idea, into prototypes as quickly as you can, and iterate from there, because time is of the essence.
Also,
manage your time. Set some goals for yourself. The things that you want to get done, get those things done, so you're not pushing it all to the end. And build and iterate. Make sure you can build a full slice.
Make them achievable goals too.
I mean, in the end, I'd rather play a game that's fun than looks good every single time. Like it's part of it, but finding a style that works for you and finding a style that's easy to work within artistically is going to do you all the favors in the world. We've all been there. We know what it looks like. We have very little time to build art assets in games, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look amazing. What matters is that we have a good time with it, and you've picked an art style that's achievable and accomplishable. And in the end, yeah, go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
No, please.
No, I mean, in the end, what we see when we're judging it is the the fun you had going back to that very first thing. If you're moving fast, staying dynamic, you're going to be having a lot more fun, and that is totally observable when you're playing the end product of your game. So yeah, that's.
To add on to that, I think there is no project in the history of the world that someone said it was perfect. And you could spend so much time forever. You see everyone smiling because they all know it. You could spend so much time tweaking and tweaking and tweaking, all the way down to that 0.2% of improvement that you're going to make. But as Steve is talking about budgeting your time, we talk about prioritizing and executing, where execution you get double the points than you get for scheduling something. And if you make your list in the order and the priority of what you're trying to achieve, then you can burn down from the bottom, because you're never going to have enough time to get all of your ideas in, no matter how much time, money, budget, resources, team you've got. And AAA games are a huge testament to that. So if you can prioritize and hit the things that matter the most, that will give you the most boost as quickly as you can. We talk about turbo boost a lot when we're project managing ourselves. That I think is really important in a game jam. The whole thing is almost jam on the turbo boost until you run out of energy. But as Renee was saying, it's really important that you learn along the way where your breaking points are, because if you don't think you have breaking points, it's because you haven't hit them yet, and that's not a good thing. People wear burnout as a badge of honor, but it's not, and it's something that the more professional you get, or the better at this you get, or the more fun you have at this, you realize that managing your own personal health and well-being and your mental health is of paramount importance, because there's no way you're going to find the fun if you hate what you're doing. And once you deplete yourself, it's very hard to find the fun in anything. So please, I think it's not said enough, and it's become a very hot issue over the last couple years. And I think it's really important that we continue to iterate that. Burnout is not a good thing. Burnout is not where you want to go. So manage your turbo boost, because a game will regulate that for you. Don't make it your body that breaks.
And I think there's something to be said as well, that there's going to be obviously a lot of teams that are working together and they have that kind of social aspect and they can kind of keep each other in check as well. I think that's important to be there for your teammates. But if you are doing this solo as well, find yourself a rubber duck, because, someone to bounce off of, even if they're not a developer, like it was mentioned earlier, like your neighbor, just, hang up on a call and just chat with your neighbor about the other noisy neighbors, and just so you have some sort of social aspect, because if you just go down that rabbit hole and you keep diving down because you really want to make it perfect, you are going to forget about those core elements in making sure that, you are taking care of yourself and potentially those around you as well, because rabbit holes are dangerous, even if they might have rabbits in them. But, and that's going on to that as well, is making sure that you know where you are and making sure that you're saving often and all the time. Do not try and get away with it. Those auto level saves, yes, they take up a bit of space, but keep them. Keep them, because you will be kicking yourself if you lose all of that. And that also goes straight into, if you're using assembler or source control, is making sure you are fully aware of those caveats too, and making sure that when you're uploading that you have enough time to do so, and manage that time throughout your team, and make sure you are pulling the all good source control things. Make sure you're doing them, because again, easy to forget sometimes, and it will stab yourself in the foot. I
certainly have never regretted using source control, but I certainly have regretted not using source control. No matter how small, I'm like, it's just a little 6-hour project. Regretted if I don't set up source control on that. It is absolutely necessary. And I saw that somebody in chat was curious about project management tools. I mean, obviously Assembler has a great suite there, but the best project management tools are the ones that work for your team. So if you like something, really quick and dirty, like maybe you want to use Trello. If you want to use ticketing, like Assembler or something like that's going to be wonderful. If a Google Doc or just a ongoing Discord chat works best for your team, then do that. I mean, the best project management tool is the tool that your team actually uses and listens to. So be flexible with it and talk with your teammates.
Absolutely. I also want to say, the little things that sometimes snag people. Check the submission form in advance of, a week from today, 10 minutes before you're trying to upload your project. Check the form, figure out what information you're going to need from your team. If you want to, you can go ahead and make your listing today, edit it over the course of the week. If you get to a stable point where you can package something in advance and check for any errors that you might have, or make sure you're clear to go, and then go ahead and upload that. And then you at least have a version that's live. You have something that can be, it gives you a feel for how long it takes you to go through the process. And then that way, you're not cramming right at the last minute being like, oh my gosh, my internet, of course, cut out now, or I didn't know I had to fill out this information. So make sure to, it's kind of not that any of us ever like doing it, but read the test all the way through. and then be ready for when you're actually ready to go through it. And then, and if you have question about packaging, that's actually one of the courses we have in the UOL learning path. And so, if you're unfamiliar with that process, that will help you through that.
Please do that. It's the worst thing ever. As a judge, when you see a game built by a team and they come through and they did all of this work and they submitted it incorrectly, or they submitted it, late. It's the worst. It's just, it's terrible. It's terrible for everybody.
Yeah, we know you put so much, don't run out of time. It's you put so much time and effort and all of this, and we want to make sure that you feel successful at the end of it. And we always feel so terrible if we see somebody not make it. But please know that, while if it does come in late, you're ineligible for prizes, but we will add you to the jam page in of itself because we know you've put a lot of hard work in, and we still want to be able to celebrate your games and still enjoy the experience. And again, we keep coming back to this, right? Like at the end of the day, we want you to have fun. And, it sometimes is a tragic ending if you don't make it. So let us help you get it over that finish line so that everybody feels really great about it. So
Likewise,
one quick tip on that is change the deadline a few hours earlier for yourself.
Ooh.
Take whatever the
Reset your
deadline
watch
is and be like, okay, we actually need to have this done 2 hours before that. That way, in case anything goes wrong, you still have a little bit of time to fix it up.
Likewise to all of that is that you're gonna be tempted to not list all the things that you included in your game, like the third-party assets or whatever. If you do use those things, do that. It's an instant disqualification, and it's obvious when you see it when you're judging it. So be careful with that. Be careful.
It's your asset as you put it in. If you put it in an asset, put it in a spreadsheet, and then just keep track of it as you're going forward.
Yeah. It's just an instant DQ, and people have spent the full period building amazing games, and they just didn't list something that they used, and that's it's a bummer, but you got to do that. You got to focus on those things. And last little tip is write good instructions for your game. Tell us how to play it. If you're not going to include a menu or a hotkey sheet or something like that, tell us how to play it. Tell us what keys to use. It's we'll figure it out, but what was it? Last year we had like 800 games to play in like 2 weeks. It was crazy. We don't have a lot of time to like sit there and try to figure out obscure things. So even if it's just a crude Photoshop drawing of your keyboard or whatever with some hotkeys, just show us so we can do it.
Though it's harder to implement, the game designer in me says, you can definitely have a crude screenshot or whatever, but if you show the player how to play the game through introducing things, step by step in a compelling way, that's even better.
Oh, absolutely.
So like, those little gameplay videos that you guys submit, show us how to play the game in that, because we watch all of those.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones. Show us, teach us. And then, yeah, that's good.
Something I did want to call out, if you start having issues with larger files, I'm trying to remember the exact limit. I think it might be any game over a gig. Use Butler. Itch.io has a tool called Butler, and it will help you upload larger files. And they have some instructions on their site on how to do that. And we'll drop the links in for that. But just as a note, if you're like, my file's too big, what do I do? Itch.io's got you covered.
Go for it.
Well, actually, I was going to piggyback off of what you were saying earlier about baking in some extra time and contingency. I think that's something that I learned from budgeting indie movies. Is that when you budget an indie movie, there's always what we call invisible walls, things you can't see past that are going to come up along the way. It's the same thing with time budgeting for any project that I've found since. So we always tack in 10% contingency, whether that's in resource of cash or in time, because there's always going to be things that you don't know about. It's impossible. It's not impossible, but and if you save 10% on the back end, you win. But that hardly ever happens. By setting your clock a little bit earlier, gives you so much room to bounce off, and you'll be happy with that, because there's going to be 2 or 3 tweaks that you're like, hey, I got 10% extra time to hit this thing if you want it. So I think that's huge advice. One thing I did want to touch on too, not to shamelessly plug the asset kit that we're throwing in, but as Tanner was saying, I think it's kind of relevant. I didn't want to talk about this before they announced the theme, but the kit is built with several different things that we think we're really excited to see what y'all could do with the theme, because it's got pieces from Sci-Fi Industrial, which are like Alien, Outer Planet, Outpost. It's got pieces from Heavy Metal, which is if metal were lighter than air. And so there's a lot of people who have taken those buildings and turned them into spaceships. And then it's got pieces of Goliath, where if you're running out of space, Goliath is the biggest kit by scale. for anything close to what we've made. So we're terrifically excited to see the different ways that people can interpret this. And I think in true Kit Basher fashion, some of the most fun times is when you see someone turn a building on its side and make it a spaceship. So I think, creativity and taking risks and having fun is sort of the basis of trying to solve a blank page problem. So if we can get you off and running, forgive the theme pun, that's what we're hoping to do. So is that the link should be live on the itch.io page now, so you can go and grab it, I believe. But Amanda, feel free to fact check me on that.
Oh, it is indeed live.
Same.
I'm crushing it.
Coming from a judging perspective, of course, I don't want to tell you how to make your game, but games that just get into the gameplay quick are always kind of more attractive to me than games that make you read a wall of text first. Like Renee mentioned, if you can teach the player how to play the game through the gameplay instead of making them read a couple paragraphs. And if you're going to do a cinematic to open the game, try to keep it short and sweet, not some long thing that all the judges have to sit through. And basically just try to get into the gameplay as quick as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. The game that I'm developing right now starts with a boss fight. You don't have any abilities, so you have to learn how to dodge and use environment. But that's what it teaches you. Just throws you straight into a boss fight. It's like, all right, you gotta figure out the game. Have fun.
Good luck. That's awesome.
That is awesome. You remember that boss fight game last year? That was super fun. I totally agree with that. Not that we won't read through those things. If you want to make a slow-paced game, have fun with it. We're still going to play it all the way through. It's all good. Like we said, time is a squeeze when there's 800 games to play. So, just be aware. Be aware.
Yeah, cozy and wholesome games obviously have a space too. They're a little less intense at the start, and hopefully less intense all the way out. So there's a whole range of things you can create.
For sure. Definitely play to what you enjoy as well, because obviously there's no point developing something that you just don't enjoy. So if you're not a big fan of cats, maybe don't do a game based around cats. And just make sure you're having fun with it and you are developing something also for you, because this is a chance for you to also test out some things, come together with others, and just really try something new. That being said, don't dig yourself a ditch. Do play to your strengths too. Don't, at the end of the day, it is a game jam and everyone's in it for different reasons, but just make sure you have that structure, what you're going to be doing and what you can take risks on. And obviously, most importantly, have fun. And obviously, more importantly than that, show us what you're doing. # Unreal Jam, all socials. Most important thing.
I know we've had a couple of people asking about what do we mean by space, and it's however you interpret it, whether that's stars in the sky, whether that's room in a physical space, whether it's memory in space. If you have other feelings of what space means, whatever it means to you. As long as you can convey it. If it gets really abstract and we don't get it, then that you can always feel free to put a comment in the submission or put it on your itch.io page, because that's a great place for us to check too. Is we'll go to that page, read the description, and so sometimes if it's very abstract and very obscure, that's a great way for you to help us bring it back together.
Yeah, use those descriptions, right? If you're going to go on a hard metaphor, like I said, 800 games, please give us a little hint of what your metaphor is, so we can, not have to spend our entire night trying to understand the.
And another reason why videos are super important. That clip that you're going to include of your gameplay is going to give a lot of context for people who are watching and judging it. So make sure that it really captures what you want to convey.
Yeah. This is a cool theme, though. I can't wait to see what people build.
I wish I had time for this. I have ideas here.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm very curious. I want to see some stuff with time travel and I don't know. I'm curious to see what people build. I'm sure you guys are super inspired by it.
Yeah. Well, do we have any other bits of advice we'd like to share? Otherwise, we can let these beautiful folks get onto their brainstorming and jam creation. And any last words?
We love you. Take care of yourselves.
Yeah, sleep, eat, don't forget to drink water, take care of yourselves.
Feed your pets.
Don't quit on yourself. Spend some time on something, build something, submit it. Even if you think that it's not, everything that you wanted it to be, submit it. Build something, accomplish something, get that little check mark in your book. It's a good opportunity to accomplish something. It's good.
Say, get to fun fast in making your game and take care of yourself. Those are like my 3 main tips. If you do that, it's going to be a great jam experience. You can create something that's great.
Amen.
Well,
Yeah, have fun, everyone. Definitely looking forward to what you see. On the taking care of yourself, you can even schedule in breaks. That kind of helps, like top of the hour, maybe every 2 hours. Take a little break, regroup with your team, see where everybody's at. Do something not game jam related for a few minutes, then get back to it. But have fun, and yeah, we're definitely looking forward to seeing the games.
For sure.
all right. Thank you to all of you sitting here for sponsoring and joining the show and sharing a little bit about what you do and offering your advice for our Game Jam participants. We're always absolutely delighted to have you. So really appreciate the effort from you all as part of this. And yeah, good luck to all of you jammers out there. We hope you have an absolutely wonderful week. We are so pumped to see all the great projects you're going to make, and join us next week as Victor returns to talk about VR templates. So, that said, enjoy your week, everyone. We will see you then, and take care. Bye.